Hey folks, Mac T back, and I have a device to do the auto start stop eliminator. Yeah, it's this nice lovely device here. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to bypass it using this device. Now the auto stop eliminator, pretty much what it says is it plugs in the back of your vehicle's auto stop start switch assembly and restores the last state automatically, which eliminates the need to press the button after each ignition cycle. Essentially what it's doing is it's just flipping the whole thing. Instead of when you start it, it's automatically on. Now when you start it, it's automatically off, and then you have to make a conscious decision to turn it on. That's all it's really doing. Pretty simple concept, but effective. And why is it so much important? Well, here's another thing. They have a recall out currently on the auto start stop accumulator on the transmission because it can burst or leak or something and spill transmission fluid all over your catalytic converter, starting your Ford Edge on fire. So that's not a good thing. And this device will eliminate the use of it, and that way you have to make a decision to run it until they fix it. I haven't gotten the recall letter yet. It's for the 2019 through 2020 Ford Edge. So hey, let's hedge our bets and do this. Now, and some people say, well, Bill, why don't you just go into ForScan for Windows and bypass it and change the computer code? And I'm going to say to all those people, not everybody wants to do that. A lot more people are probably comfortable just pulling the panel open and putting this in there and then leaving it rather than getting in and changing the computer. One, people are just scared when you start changing the computer programming and everything else, one number off, and next thing you know, you brick your PCM or something happens, and then all of a sudden you got to go to the dealer. But either way, I'm sure I could do it that way too, but since I have this, I'm going to go ahead and install it, and that way it is always off, and I can turn it on if I feel I want it to be running, which I don't. So anyway, let's go ahead and put this thing in. It's not very hard, and it only takes about maybe 2 or 3 minutes if you do it right. So let's go ahead and get it installed. And then we start pulling our panels apart right here. Really simple. They just snap out. You don't have to go all the way, just this part right here. Do the same thing back here. It just pops out. Run your fingers along it until you pop it out, and then you just go ahead and you pull this out like so. Real simple. And you have the wire right here. Now, in order to pop it out, there is a little tab in the back that you have to get to pop this thing out. Let me see if I can show it to you. It's right here in the back of the plug. You put a little screwdriver in there, and then you can just pop it out. Just a little pull tab. There you go. This little tab right here. Oh, thing fell apart on me. There you go. Leave that there. But there's a little tab right here. Just push that in, and then you can pop it right out of there, and then you can plug it all back in with this device right here. You just go ahead, plug this back into the plug, lock it in, then you match this up. White end goes on to this part right here, and plug it right in, and then you just feed it back down in there, slide everything back together. Not that terribly difficult. As soon as we can get it all figured back out again. line everything back up. It all snaps right back in. And there you go. That's all you need to do to it. And now let's go ahead and start her up and see how this button works. Now, as you can see, it's off automatically. So if I want to turn it on, I got to push it. Now the thing is, let's go ahead and turn the engine off. Open the door. Now remember, I turned it back on. So let's see if it remembers that or defaults right back to the off position. Now as you can see, it stayed on, so if I want it off, I got to push the button. Now let's go ahead and see if it remembers when I turn the engine off. Open the door, I get out. Now I'm going to start the car back up, and let's see if it turns it and leaves it off as my last memory. There you go. So you haven't changed the functionality of it, but what you have done is changed how you use it. So now if you leave it off all the time, it'll stay off until you turn it back on, and if it is turned back on, it's your fault. So that's pretty simple. Well folks, that's it. It wasn't that hard. I never did it before. I pulled it up. I knew there had to be a little tab, and I struggled a bit with that, but hey, hopefully you learned. Get a little pocket screwdriver, push that little tab in, and then pull it right out. It's right on the side of the plug with the biggest end on it, so you just slide that in just a little bit with the pocket screwdriver and it pops right out. Didn't quite see that instructions anywhere, so of course I had to figure it out, but I knew there was a clip holding it, and that little red one wants to fall off, so be careful with that. But either way, I think this is going to be a great addition. It'll keep my hopefully my Ford Edge from bursting into flames until they get the recall fixed on it, and we'll keep going from there. But hey, if you want to save effort on that recall and having the auto start stop accumulator that Ford's recalled causing you problems, then this is probably your best bet, unless you want to dive into the 4Scan. A lot of people say go 4Scan, don't spend the money on this, but you know what, for a lot of us this is money well spent, because if you do 4Scan, you have to of course have the adapter, you have to have the laptop, you got to pay for the license for the 4Scan program to do it. So all in all, I think it's a wash on that, although you can keep using 4Scan for a lot of other things. So you know, there is that investment side of the house there, whereas this won't cause any recall issues, because basically all you have to do is before you go to the dealership is hit it to the on position, and nobody will be the wiser because it'll be on. That's simple. Anyway, MACTFORDEDGE here. Make sure you like, subscribe, join, all that good stuff. Band of One's got great music. My feet hit the floor today. I'm having a great day, and I want you to have a great day too. And Mercy Girl's always got a couple one-liners.